Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tagawa Greenhouse Wi-Fi and Mobile Computing webinar. My name is Georgia Brown. I'm Director of Marketing here at ExtenData, and I'll be your moderator for the duration of the webinar.
One of our panelists is Yoshi Tagawa, VP of Operations at Tagawa Greenhouse Enterprise, LLC.
Hello, everyone.
Another panelist is Craig Fleischmann, Account Manager here at ExtenData.
Hello, everybody.
And finally, Erich Langan, Systems Engineer at ExtenData.
Hello, everyone.
Before we get started, let me please take a moment to thank our sponsors, Aruba Networks, Zebra Technologies, and Blue Star. Without them, this webinar would not have been possible today. So a little bit about ExtenData to begin with. Since many of you are unfamiliar with who we are, we've been around since 2002, and we specialize in mobility and supply chain solutions. We have 5 core competencies: mobile computing, professional services, software development, wireless integration, and identification and tracking solutions. This webinar will cover the wireless integration and professional services aspects of our competencies. What we have here is just a select list of our customers. Each one of these brands that you may recognize has received a mobility or supply chain solution from ExtenData. So without any further ado, Yoshi, why don't you take us right in and tell us about Tagawa Greenhouse?
Okay, a little bit about Tagawa Greenhouses. We're headquartered in Brighton, Colorado. We started as farmers, but in 1967 we built the first couple of greenhouses, and we grew foliage in those for the farmers market when we actually had a farmers market out here. From there we expanded over the years to over 1.5 million square feet in greenhouse space in 3 locations here in Colorado. We're mainly a wholesale facility. Half of the company is annual and perennial seedlings, which we ship across North America and Canada, and the other half are finished annual bedding plants for the Colorado region. We employ about 600 employees, which actually gets up close to 900 during spring. Our growing needs of our users with the network connectivity and the distances between one office to another, we found ourselves needing better solutions than we can do in-house. So that's when we found ExtenData in 2010. So with that, we can go into the problems that we wanted to solve. Basically, there are 4 main issues that we wanted to fix, issues and problems. The first being network issues, greenhouse efficiency, environmental issues, and our cabling problems. The network issues were, in a nutshell, were twofold: the connectivity between our ranges and our main office, and the Wi-Fi coverage in the facility itself. As far as greenhouse efficiency, because we had bad coverage, it caused the tracking of our product pretty difficult, and it made our greenhouse inefficient. And as far as environmental, being in the greenhouse, we are inside, but the conditions inside the greenhouse are still pretty rough, ranging from high humidity, direct contact with water, and then high temperatures. As far as the cabling issue, as a short-term or Band-Aid solution, we pulled Cat5 through the greenhouse cable, but we had to install several hubs between runs due to the distances that we were pulling. And then due to the environment, we had multiple hardware failures in those hubs at various times. So I guess at this time, Craig and Erich can explain in more detail the solution that was put into place.
Okay, Erich, why don't you tell everybody about the solution that ExtenData provided for Tagawa?
I'll be glad to, Georgia. When Yoshi and I first got together, I planned to take this into a multi-phase approach and address each individual problem separately. And the first approach that we took, addressed, was the wireless backbone, their core network. They currently had a backbone system that was doing both a wireless hop and access point, and they were having failures and had to use. So we addressed the Band-Aid in Tagawa's core backbone. With the experience that we have with ski resorts and different outdoor installs that we've done throughout the country, we've selected the Aruba MST200. It's a point-to-point bridge, and we were able to create a true IDF closet in the Range 5 office to give a solid backbone connectivity to their main office. With the solid connection, that gave us the platform to go on to the next phase. The next phase of this was working on refreshing their mobile devices. They currently had DOS devices running Stay-Link terminal emulation, and we moved them into Zebra's MC9000 series. First, we went into the MC9090, which gave them more speed, better radios, and they were rugged enough for Tagawa's environment. Again, with our experience that we've used with outdoor installs, we knew that this would be a solution that they could take into the greenhouse, into the wet environment, not have issues with this. With the use of Stay-Link, we were able to, since they had already started using Stay-Link terminal emulation, we were able to move them to the new guns with very little training, if any, other than a few settings on the handheld. They use Stay-Link currently to go into their IBM I-Series and work towards do work in their homegrown seed to store tracking application.
So Eric, let me take a second here to ask Craig a question. Craig, could you tell us a little bit about the MC9200s and why we may be moving them from the MC9090s over to that device?
Sure, Georgia, I'd be happy to. So the MC9200 is really kind of the best of the breed, the best of the MC9000 series. There was the 9060, there was the 9090, and the 9190. The 9200 gives you a faster processor. It gives you new OSs, so it's got the Win Mobile and the Windows Embedded Compact 7 on them. But the nice thing is they're new and improved, but they were also backwards compatible with all the previous versions of the MC9000. So you can use all the accessories, batteries, cradles, recharge stations were all compatible with the new device. So you could literally coexist in that environment, and it was really a big benefit for Tagawa.
Thanks, appreciate that.
So this brings us to the next. Thanks, Craig. This brings us to the final. One of the final pieces of the wireless infrastructure throughout the ranges. The previous installation that Tagawa had was having issues with the challenges of their environment. They weren't rated for outdoor, and it caused issues eventually. And like I said before, with our experience with outdoor installs and with ski resorts and snow and different harsh environments, we looked at Aruba, and we used their Aruba IEP series access points. They're out indoor and outdoor. We used the IEP 105s for the indoor for guest and office connectivity, and then for the ranges we used Aruba's IEP 175s and their latest IEP 275s, which is pictured here on the screen. It is rated for outdoors, snow, ice, rain, dust. We also chose it for its ease of installation. It gives, the IEP itself is a virtual controller. So one of the APs acts as a controller, and then so the ease of implementation is you configure the first one, and then the rest take their information from the virtual controller. Now, we also gave them redundancy using the IPs, because if the one access point that's acting as a controller goes down, another one will take over seamlessly. This gives not only true redundancy, but it also allows Tagawa a simple single point of management. We also chose this as the solution for the ruggedness, and in Tagawa's very wet and humid environment. We actually have these installed, I want to say, inches from watering sprinklers. We actually have sprinklers going on these pretty much most of the day on some of them. And we also have them by the heating pipes that creating the heat for the humidity.
And Erich, if I'm not mistaken, this is Craig, it's the newest technology for wireless with the 275s, but because of that, they're also backwards compatible with the previous installation that we did in an earlier phase.
Correct. Good point. The IAP275 is Aruba's new 802.11 AC or gig Wi-Fi access point, but you're correct. It is backwards compatible with the 802.11 ABGN solutions.
I guess with that, we'll talk a little bit about the TotalCare solution support that was part of Tagawa's overall project solution. And I like to think of or liken it to, the way I look at it is similar to a mechanic, right? That I don't work on my car. I don't know enough about steering or computers or things of that nature. I leave it to a mechanic who does that, all day, every day. And that's what we do as part of this solution support. We provide wireless and access points and mobile devices and TE software, terminal emulation software like StayLink, printing solutions as all part of that. So the nice thing for Tagawa with our TotalCare was they could say, we wanted to reach out to ExtenData to provide the support necessary to do everything, whether it was a handheld issue, a terminal emulation issue, or a wireless access point issue. They could just come to ExtenData as part of the TotalCare.
Great, thank you for that. So Yoshi, why don't you review the results of the ExtenData solution?
Okay. As far as the results, we found much more reliable and faster backbone for sure, and the overall coverage is much better than what we had previously. Since the equipment is outdoor rated, like Erich said, we no longer have issues with the APs being exposed to the water. All of the APs are installed on poles, actually like the one in the photo on the slide. We get high humidity water from the rain gutter that's just right above it, and there's also a heat in the steam line that you can see in that picture as well. So we get it all in one place, and all the APs are installed on poles similar to that one. The signal is much stronger, and we have better reliability for our connections throughout the facility. And we did have another option. We could have went and used and went with a fiber install as far as our backbone was concerned, but when we looked at the cost, the expense on that was quite a bit higher, and it was much more cost effective for us to go with the solution. We reduced the issues of our devices staying connected, so that did two things. That increased the productivity and efficiencies in the greenhouse from our workers, and then also reduced the amount of calls that we get from people trying to ask us to fix the problem, which actually adds up quite a bit after you get the first 10 or 20. We've been using seedling for several years now, and that is still a good solution for us for keeping the sessions open, even in case the signal is lost. And ExtenData provides the support for that software as well. So overall, we're experiencing reliable connectivity throughout the greenhouse and offices for guests and staff. We get good support with the TotalCare. We're able to call ExtenData or Erich whenever we have issues. And we've been pretty happy with ExtenData and the work they've provided to Tagawa's over the years.
Well, thank you. We did have quite a quick webinar today, so I noticed that some people jumped on just a little bit late. So I wanted to reiterate that we will have a recording of the webinar available and pushed out so that you can listen to the front end of things. At this point, we're going to move into questions. And if you have a question for our presenters today, please use the GoToWebinar feature, and I will dish those out to the presenters. What I first wanted to ask, as a follow-up for myself, you know, I'm not very technically savvy. I'm just a marketing person here, and I wanted to ask Erich and Craig if you had any additional input about what the cost savings Tagawa experience from our solution may be. And maybe, Erich, if you wanted to address that first.
Well, as Yoshi pointed out, you know, the cost of running fiber, especially in a facility, the time to schedule it, the time to get it up and running, the time to trench it, the cost of trenching, the cost of getting it input, and the time that it took us to install the wireless hop, right there was a savings, because we were able to get the wireless hop between the two buildings up in less than a day. Obviously, the time to get the equipment there, but once we had the equipment on site, we were able to get point-to-point up in the morning. And Yoshi, you can help me here as well. I mean, I think that's been a solid network connection between the main office and Range 5. It keeps your employees in the Range 5 office up 99% of the time. I don't know of any time since we put it up that we've had an issue there. As for the wireless, the time saved, I think, as Yoshi pointed out as well, I know that Yoshi and his team were having a lot of time out troubleshooting issues, using Band-Aids, and fixing a lot of issues. And since we've put in the wireless infrastructure, I know we've had a couple of little issues that we've dealt with growing pains, but I think everything else has been rather solid, and it saved him and his team time out troubleshooting.
Okay, great. Craig, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, in the course of supporting Tagawa, they've elected to engage us with what we call a solution support package, which is a preset number of hours of time that allows them to call in and get the assistance of Erich or one of our other technical folks here to help troubleshoot any issues with why is the access point not connecting, or why is my handheld not connecting, or I can't get Stay-Link to do this or that or whatever. And it's just you know, peace of mind support in a predetermined fashion that Tagawa has with ExtenData, and we sell that in, you know, prepackaged hourly packages that get consumed as you have issues that come about, or in the course of setting up a new environment. Let's say an additional set of handhelds are purchased and you want to have ExtenData do that. That can be part of that solution support package number of hours.
Okay. Yoshi, do you have anything you'd like to add to that? Sounds like it's covered pretty well.
Yeah, I was just going to say the prepaid support is nice, because we can call on pretty much any issue that we want or we have, and it's been working out for us pretty well.
Okay. So we do have a question from the audience. So they're asking if RFID through this type of solution is possible. And I would venture to guess that yes, indeed, we would be able to support RFID. But Erich, do you want to take this one?
Sure, I can take that one. Definitely, we could create a solution for RFID in this. We've actually looked in a couple of growing facilities for RFID implementation, and we've tested it with them, and it works. And yes, definitely, we could definitely put an RFID solution together in a facility like this.
Yeah, ExtenData
if
definitely.
I can throw in,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. If I can throw in, as part of the MC9000 family, they actually have a RFID scanning gun that allows you to do both barcodes as well as RFID interrogation, if you would. And the way we would look at it is really RFID is very similar to barcodes, other than line of sight versus the interrogation. But they both represent data that needs to be collected through a device and then accessing a database of some sort that gives it meaning. So it's RFID or a barcode can very easily be used in this environment.
Okay. Yeah, now what I was going to say is that ExtenData actually has a significant amount of experience within RFID technologies. We've been able to develop an asset tracking solution through our software side of the business, and that where that has played out most recently for us is within the ski and hospitality industry. But what we've found is that these solutions that we generate are actually applicable across many different industries for many different solutions. It looks like we have, let's see, we have a couple more questions here. Basically, it was just some reiteration about the difference between the MC9090 and the MC9200. And as Craig mentioned earlier, what it is that the MC9000 series from Zebra, as devices get older, they phase them out and then bring new ones in. And we listed the MC9200 as it is currently the recommended replacement device for the MC9090s. Craig, do you have anything additionally that you wanted to add to that?
No, I mean, it's just like PCs, mobile devices get a faster processor, get brighter screens, get better battery technology. Everything continues to evolve faster, better, longer lasting.
Okay, great. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and bring us to a close. Once again, I'd like to thank Aruba Networks, Zebra Technologies, and Blue Star for their support of this webinar. We frequently implement their solutions and their technology, and we are proud to be partners with them. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach Craig at the information listed below, or you can reach out to me if you'd like to discuss any other topics or questions about today's webinar. And like I said, this webinar will be made available in a recording and the handout. Just watch your email inbox, or perhaps maybe even your junk folder for info@extenddata.com. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a pleasant day.